The Tale of the Ant and the Grasshopper, one of Aesop's most beloved fables, has been passed down through generations, offering a timeless lesson on the importance of hard work and planning for the future. This enduring story contrasts the lives of an industrious ant and a carefree grasshopper as they navigate the abundance of summer and the harsh realities of winter. During the warm, sun-drenched days of summer, the grasshopper lived a life of leisure, singing and dancing without a care in the world. He reveled in the season's bounty, his cheerful chirping echoing from dawn to dusk. As he frolicked, he would often observe a colony of ants laboring tirelessly under the scorching sun, diligently gathering and storing food for the coming winter. The grasshopper would scoff at their efforts, urging them to abandon their toil and join him in his merrymaking. The ants, however, paid no heed to his taunts and continued their work, fully aware that the pleasant summer days would not last forever. When winter finally descended upon the land, it brought with it a thick blanket of snow and biting winds that made finding food nearly impossible. The once lush fields now lay barren and frozen. The grasshopper, who had made no preparations for this harsh season, found himself cold and famished. In his desperation, he stumbled upon the ants' nest and, weak with hunger, pleaded with them for a small portion of their provisions. In the classic telling of the fable, the ants turn down the grasshopper's request. They inquire about his activities during the summer months, while they were working diligently to store food. The grasshopper admits that he spent his days singing and playing. In response, the ants dismiss him, suggesting that he should now dance the winter away. The stark moral of the story is evident. There is a time for work and a time for play, and it is wise to prepare for times of need. This straightforward interpretation of the fable has resonated with audiences for centuries, emphasizing the virtues of diligence and foresight. The phrase, "make hay while the sun shines," is often associated with this tale, underscoring the importance of seizing opportunities when they present themselves. However, as with many enduring stories, the ant and the grasshopper has been subject to various reinterpretations and critiques over time. Even in ancient times, some viewed the ant's industriousness as mean-spirited and self-serving, questioning whether such single-minded focus on work was truly admirable. The 17th-century French writer Jean de La Fontaine's retelling of the fable introduced a layer of irony and sparked a broader debate on themes of compassion and charity. His version subtly questioned the righteousness of the ant's refusal to help the starving grasshopper, inviting readers to consider the moral implications of turning away those in need, even if their plight was evolved. So too did the interpretations of this simple tale. Since the 18th century, the grasshopper has sometimes been portrayed as a symbol of the artist, leading to discussions about the place of culture and art in society. This perspective challenges the notion that all productive activity must be directly tied to material gain, suggesting that there is value in pursuits that enrich the soul and bring joy to others. In a notable 20th-century twist, British author W. Somerset Maugham penned a short story titled The Ant and the Grasshopper. In his version, two brothers embody the roles of the ant and the grasshopper. The hard-working and responsible brother constantly has to bail out his dissolute, carefree sibling. However, in a surprising turn of events, the grasshopper brother ends up marrying a wealthy widow and inheriting a fortune, thus reversing the traditional moral and suggesting that luck can play a significant role in life's outcomes. This modern retelling challenges the simplistic notion that hard work always leads to success, and that a carefree attitude inevitably results in failure. It introduces the element of chance and questions whether the traditional moral of the fable holds true in all circumstances. Maugham story invites readers to consider the complexities of real life, where outcomes are not always as predictable or just as they are in fables. The varied interpretations of the ant and the grasshopper demonstrate the enduring power of this simple yet profound story. Each generation finds new meaning and relevance in the tale, adapting it to reflect changing societal values and perspectives. In recent years, the fable has been used to spark discussions about work-life balance in our fast-paced, productivity-driven world. Some argue that the ant's single-minded focus on work at the expense of enjoying life's pleasures is not a model to be emulated. They suggest that a balance between work and leisure is essential for a fulfilling life. Others have used the story to comment on economic systems and social welfare. The ants' refusal to share their bounty with the grasshopper has been likened to debates about social safety nets and the responsibilities of society towards its less fortunate members. This interpretation raises questions about collective responsibility and the balance between personal accountability and communal support. Environmental interpretations of the fable have also emerged, with the ants' foresight being compared to the need for sustainable practices and long-term planning in the face of climate change. The grasshopper's short-term thinking is seen as analogous to the exploitation of natural resources without consideration for future generations. In educational settings, the story is often used to teach children about the importance of planning and the consequences of procrastination. However, modern educators also use it as a starting point for discussions about empathy, community, and the value of diverse skills and contributions to society. The fable has even found its way into discussions about financial planning and investment strategies. Financial advisors often use the ant as a model of prudent saving and investment, while the grasshopper represents the pitfalls of living beyond one's means and failing to plan for the future. As we continue to retell and reinterpret The Ant and the Grasshopper, it's clear that this simple story contains multitudes. Its enduring appeal lies not just in its original moral, but in its ability to adapt and spark new conversations as our world changes. The tale serves as a mirror, reflecting our values, our struggles, and our ongoing quest to find the right balance between work and play, responsibility and joy, individual effort and community support. In the end, perhaps the greatest lesson of the ant and the grasshopper is not a single fixed moral, but the invitation it extends to each of us to reflect on our own choices, values, and the kind of world we wish to create. As we face the challenges of our time, this ancient fable continues to offer fresh insights, reminding us that wisdom can be found in the most unlikely places, even in the simple story of an ant and a grasshopper.